Hello, this is Cronin. Thank you for watching this speedrun tutorial with Dynamite Headdy. This is part 2, and we're going to cover scene 3. Okay, so first thing, this stage 3-1 has the mechanic where the floor will tilt, and this is just something that you should just know how to deal with. Generally, if you're moving forward to the right, you're going to be fine. You're not going to move downwards if you're moving right or left on it. Hold on. Well, first of all, let me just explain this part right here. So this soldier, you do need to do something about him. You can try to jump over him. The best way to go through is to kill him. The best way to do that is when you jump over this gap, you hit him directly horizontally as you fall, and you should be able to keep on moving. In this video, the more likely thing is that you'll just drop and you'll stop and you'll hit him like that, and then you move. It's okay, either way is okay, but you do need to get rid of him to get past. And the second guy, you don't need to worry about so much. Now back to the floor real quick. I just need to show that it's tilted. Okay, please don't call me while I'm trying to teach you. Like, I know you have questions, but I'll try to answer them in one go, okay? Anyway, so this floor is tilted, and just to explain, when you're stationary, you will start sliding as soon as it starts tilting. So it's like tilting now, right? You will slide, and you'll slide, like, if you're at the very top here, you'll slide like 3/4 of the way down if you don't move. And when it tilts back to normal, to like a flat, actually the last quarter of that tilt, you won't slide. You'll be steady. That's just how that works. Generally, if you're going to be like tapping up to get back into position, but if you just keep on moving right, you should be fine too. This doesn't really matter for anything else but the fight, where it actually becomes a little bit of a trouble maker. So, but we're not there yet. Anyway, for this guy right here, this soldier, you're just gonna go right past him. He's gonna go up. You can just go right. Now these bowling balls here, if you're moving right from the very beginning, you should pass the first one, but the second one will roll here, and you'll probably run into him if you don't move. So just move up or down to avoid it, or you can just jump over him. You don't need to kill that guy, but it's an option. Now these two frogs here, you do need to kill. You could try to say like jump to here and then move past, or just jump down and then deboost your way out. But it's fastest to just keep level with the ground and keep moving. So the way to do that here is to do a jump and do a diagonal shot, and as you're falling, do another diagonal shot. So you want to get 2 of these frogs with diagonal shots in one jump, in one fluid motion, and it'll look like this. Okay, and yeah, they're just there to stop you. It's actually kind of tricky to get that. Just practice a little bit though. It'll feel pretty nice to have this whole beginning part all smooth. Here, you can actually skip this whole next section, which is another place which would stop you, and the way to do that is to get in the top or middle of the platform here and jump off and hold down right. You hold right to keep on moving, and down so that you're moving technically down this like forward backwards dimension, which I'm just going to call Z because that's how it usually is portrayed, you know, the axis Z. So you hold down and right, and you'll go right past here. Now if there's like a problem, you'll end up, instead of skipping this corner, you'll actually bump into this wall here. There's an invisible wall here. You can't actually jump over this gap. It will stop you. So if you end up moving against that, you're gonna get knocked all the way up to that 500 points, and you'll have to do this like normal. It is possible to do this part sort of smoothly, but no matter what you do, you're still gonna have to walk past this part here. Like you could jump here, like following the cursor, you jump here, you diagonal down here, you still have this little time loss here. And then there's these bowling balls that you have to worry about. And if you're trying to go fast, they're just going to get in your way. It is, again, possible to do this whole section smoothly. It's easier to skip it. And this will send you up here into this corner. Alright, now this is a fight against the flying soldiers. They're jerks. They're going to be very annoying to hit because not only are you moving up and down on this yourself, but they will be moving up and down on that same Z dimension here. And so like you could be in steady in one position, but if you shoot at them like horizontally, it might just fly right past them. But there's a way to work around that. And there is actually a difference here in the Japanese version. I'll cover it once we're done with this stage in American. It's only for this fight. So just to give you a little cue here. So this is, the screen's locked, and there is coming in. So basically there's like a tile here, tile, like it's a 16 pixels. When there's this tile of empty space pushing against the right edge of the screen, that's where the screen will lock. And that's only important so that once the screen reaches there, they will start moving in. What you do is you want to get in close, and you want to actually shoot them before they appear, because they'll be off screen right here. This one will be off screen, but you can still actually give him damage while he's off screen. So you can get that one hit in, and then do the rest as he comes in. So that's the pattern for this. You want to hit them off screen or as they come in. You want to hit them when they're above you, and then you want to hit them with a diagonal shot as they're going to the left, and then with a horizontal shot as they're far to the left. And you want to stay as close as you can to the right edge of the screen so you can keep on getting those off-screen hits. But it's probably not going to happen. This is kind of a fight that you really have to get a feel for. It did take me a while as well. So this is sort of what it'll look like. I will actually close in on these flying soldiers in this video. You don't have to, you can get longer shots in. Well, let me just show you. So 2, 3, 4. You saw how I was closing in there. That just makes it so that you can hit them easier. And I also did the diagonal shot. So there was a normal horizontal, but I was still close. I have this a little better now, but with diagonal shots, the reason that they are actually helpful here is because while horizontal shots can actually pass by the enemies, I don't show it here. If you diagonal shot, for some reason it has some kind of Z movement to it, probably because you're holding up, so you'll move a little bit up, and since they're only moving a little bit up on the Z, like a little bit forward into the distance, with a diagonal shot you're very, almost 100% likely to hit them. So if you're missing shots in this fight, just do diagonal shots instead, and that should help you out. There is a soft lock here. I'll show it on the Japanese version. It's the same on both. Basically, after you kill the last guy, but you manage to fall off, you will die. Your movement will be locked. Anyway, here, feel free to get the health or the 1-up if you really want to. But of course, the best choice is just stay on the floor. You can kill that guy. You probably need to, but you can also walk past him. And here, there's one last thing to explain. So you see how the floor is moving and tilting up and down, right? That's been the whole gimmick of the stage. Now, the end of the stage will only happen when this floor is flattened and you're here on this this line. It's like, I think, about 4 pixels. Actually, so the end of the stage actually is right here. It's hard to see, but this line here, like usually it's been tiles, like all these cutscene markers and whatnot that I've been explaining, but actually it's right here. It is. So if Headdy passes this point, that is like the center of Headdy's sprite passes this point, that's when your movement's locked and you have to wait for the floor to tilt back to flat. Now the reason why this is important is because it's all good if you're getting here when the floor is tilting out or tilting back in, but say right now, say instead of Headdy being here, I'm all the way over here. By the time that I reach here, the floor is going to start tilting the other way again. It's going to start tilting to the side instead of flat like this. When you get here, you're going to have to wait for the floor to tilt all the way out and then all the way back again. That costs 6 seconds. It's actually considerable. So you want to get here basically as fast as you can, duh. But if you see it like being really close to this, you want to move. You want to move as horizontal as possible and just don't fall. Just keep on going as fast as you can. Actually, when the floor is flat like this, and say you're like right here, you're not all the way here, you will have a tiny bit of time to reach here. So don't despair if the floor is flattened, as long as you're on basically right near the edge. You still have a little bit of time, just a little bit. So that's the American version of that stage. Let's see. Yes. Just give me a second here. Unfortunately, I have to restart the emulators. Wow, what a terrible. I'm just gonna rush right in though. And there we go. Okay. I'm not gonna bother explaining why I have to do that. It's just I have to restart the emulators and just weird graphic problems. Okay. Okay, so this is what it looks like in the Japanese version. Right away you'll notice that head case is there. And hey, he happens to have Hammerhead. Hammerhead does double damage, remember? So that's pretty good and convenient for this fight. So basically, once you get here, you don't actually want to spawn right away. You remember how I explained, it seemed kind of unnecessarily how when you have that tile of empty space, the flying soldiers move in. That's important here in the Japanese version because you don't want to have that happen until you get the Hammerhead. So you'll get in position, get Hammerhead, and then move. And it works like that. Because if you go and spawn them, they're going to start moving around, and you're going to try to hit them, and you're going to miss a chance to get the hammer. Like, it'll be like this. And then, you can see all these misses that I'm missing, right? I'm not trying too hard here. And then you can, like, maybe get the last two. So it's easier to get Hammerhead first and then attack the flying soldiers, not the other way around, in the Japanese version. And then you can move on, and the rest of the stage is the same. Now, let me explain, this is what the soft lock will look like. Nope. Okay, let me just get it right. Okay, so now I'm pressing. Okay, so I was actually saved there, but for a second there I couldn't move. Wow. Okay. Having a little trouble screwing myself up here. There we go. So now I can't move. Any button I press doesn't matter. This is what the soft lock is. It's not really a soft lock per se, because you do die and you can restart the stage like normal, but you die. That's a problem. So basically, the key point here is that when you kill the last guy, don't start moving. Well, you can start moving, just don't get too close to the edge. Don't go crazy and jump off or anything. That's not going to help you. The game will just freeze you in place. And if you're lucky, you'll land back on the floor and be able to move on. It's still going to cost you some time. So just take it a little easy here. You're not going to get anything crazy from just rushing. One last thing. Oops. Just a little trick. If you actually get to the end zone here and turn left, there's a neat little glitch. Feel free to try this out. Pretty cool. Okay, now, before we move on to that, let's see the American version. Alright, so this is the next stage. This is the backstage battle. And I don't show it here but like, okay, sorry, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Actually the movement you want to do before the fight really begins, before you can get head case, which will appear off screen in a second here, is you want to actually let go. You have control here. You can move up and down, and these three like little cat bots are going to come out and they'll go generally in your direction and sort of home in sort of lamely, dumbly. But what you want to do is actually not hold on any direction, because then that kind of free movement will have them kind of move in every sort of direction, and you'll have a much cleaner shot directly on Trouble Bruin himself. Versus if you're constantly holding yourself left, like here, these guys will go straight left, and then your shots are going to hit them instead of hitting Trouble Bruin. I didn't know this at the time. I just kind of did whatever, but it definitely helps because you want to get early hits here. You need at least 3 hits to get a decent fight. 2 hits is kind of pushing it. 1 hit will not give you the fast fight. It'll be too late by then. Okay, next thing before I continue playback, head case is going to appear basically on line with this headlight here, this spotlight, your health bar, your health meter. He's going to appear from here, and the first head he's going to have on his icon window is going to be Superhead. Superhead is what you want for this fight. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to shoot left and be like up and shoot left. He will spawn when this light here in the foreground here, this light, this yellow light, when that hits the left edge of the screen, he will appear like so. You see, he's right here. And then there's Superhead, so you want to grab that immediately, or as fast as you can. And then get yourself level, flat with Trouble Bruin, 2, 3, 4. And you want to get as many hits as you can. You want to get, like, say, 4 hits. And now, here's how this fight goes. He's going to spin you around, and you're going to want to get as many hits in as you can before he does the next attack pattern, which is where he slams you on the ceiling and the floor. You don't want that to happen because it's very difficult to hit him in that phase, and by that point you're going to lose your first Superhead. So what you want to do is you're going to want to do this attack pattern, which basically comes out like a triangle. You're going to hit him diagonally, down, then diagonally. Diagonally left, down, diagonally right, and as he spins you around. So basically 3 hits with every spin. So I already had 4, right? So 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and then he's going to start spinning you back. And you want to have over 10 hits at this point. 13, 14, I missed, 14, 15. And this is where things change. So he has 16 hits, 16 HP before he dies. Depending on where you get that last hit will change how much time you'll have by the end of the stage, and I'll show that. But this is actually the worst animation for like a good fight, because like I hit him and then I'm all the way on the left side of the screen, and it's a fast fight, but I have to start bouncing all the way to the right edge of the screen before the stage finishes. That's not good. It is not too much of a time loss. You can't really see it here, but it's like a 4-second time loss. So I'll show you the better way of doing that. First, just one thing that I just remembered. Actually, it's a little earlier than that. A little later than that. Okay, so as on one of these turns, I believe this is a 3rd turn. I just missed it. But basically, your shots are gonna get close to head case. You do not want to get shield head. Shield head will not only not be that helpful, except for the very edges where it does like automatic damage because you're so close to him. It's just useless. You won't be able to get any hits in. You don't want normal head or shield head for this fight. It's just not gonna get you the fast fight. You need super head for that distance. And on top of that, you have to wait for shield head to activate, and then cancel it, and then grab head case wherever he is. It's bad. So just be careful when you're doing this, because you'll get a sense for it. It shouldn't be something that you should be like scared about per se. It's just something that will probably happen sooner or later. There's another one. Head case always kind of moves in this pattern, but just be careful of that. All right. Now let's see what the deal is in the Japanese version. Oh right, didn't I say before, or maybe I didn't, but every single boss fight and Maruyama fight is going to have a text bubble. On these text bubbles you have to clear them, so you gotta it'd be helpful to know where they happen, when they happen. I'm tripping over my words right now. I blame the Chinese food. Anyway, in this scene, basically the right edge of his sprite here, of this body, once it pushes the very pixel of this shadow of this pillar right here in the background, this one right here, once his back touches that, like pixel to pixel, no gap, pixel to pixel, that's when the text bubble will appear. Okay, so like this. Okay, the rest of the fight is the same, no difference, just color. Okay, so here, this save state is of the last hit, and so I'm going to show you the different ways that this fight ends on the fast fight. Okay, so I have the last hit here. Now the safest thing to do is a diagonal down hit, okay? Okay, so like that. So I hit him early, I'm on the right edge of the screen. There's a problem though. Look how high this bounces. It seems kind of crazy, right? It's actually slow. So the fastest way is to hit him flat like that. Okay, and then so that's fast, middle, and then the slow thing is to hit him low. Because if you hit him low, you're gonna be knocked to the left side, because he'll only start exploding when you're either like he will never explode like when the arm is underneath him. It has to be left, right, or anywhere above. Okay, so if you hit him low, you're going to be spun around and sent to the left side, and you have to wait this out. And again, that's a long time loss. So the reason why this is important is because, unfortunately, the fast hit here, like right now, if I hit him, am I going to hit him low or high? Like low or fast? That's the problem. If you're going for a fast hit, you want to hit him horizontally as early as you can. Because if you try to hit him like this, you're likely to get that spin around. Whereas if you hit him early, you know, it doesn't seem like there's much of a difference, but that's the trouble here. But in any case, this is another thing where you have to have precise targeting with your head. So practice makes perfect. What are idioms? I don't know. Okay. Anyway. That's that stage. It's not really anything else to explain. I could show you what to do when he does the pattern where he's like throwing you up and down. I guess I could just show you right now, huh? Let's just show you right now. Oh wait, I would have to actually not kill him. Sorry, habits die hard. So he does this. You'll probably run out of superhead, so you want to get superhead again. And then he'll go in this pattern again, so you just hit him. One other thing is, in this form, the arrow is going to be saying down or up. What you want to do is actually hold that button. If it's pointing down, you want to press down, because he's going to try to slam you in the ceiling. So as you're down, like, you have a clear shot here, but actually you're going to miss him. You probably won't be able to hit him. It's worth trying, like shooting constantly to get that attempt in. but the better chance is like this. Actually, not sure why I died there, but I guess that's a thing too. Whatever. You get the gist. It's you definitely want to kill him before that point. Anyway. So let's move on. Taking a little bit too much time on these early parts here. Okay, so this fight. Lots of fights coming one after another. This fight that I'm going to show you is actually kind of middling, not the best. The key to this fight is to alternate your hits between the two sub-bosses here. And you want to not leave Gentleman Jim, who's this guy in the tuxedo, the pants. You don't want him to survive. Or if he does survive, you want to kill him immediately. So you want to leave him with 1 HP, if anything, because when he is alone, he will be invulnerable for most of his petty little existence. So you want to alternate, but you want to start with Gentleman Jim. So as it starts out, he's going to be on the ground. He may, this is a very random fight, he may jump and you might just miss a shot, it's fine. When he gets turned into this ball form, you can jump over him, but as he gets swung high, it'd actually be safer to crouch underneath. But you always want to be shooting an enemy. Each one has 16 HP, so you have to burn through 32 HP in total here, which means 32 hits, direct hits. And as he walks across, you want to jump over. Simple enough. If he jumps and you're close, you want to go underneath him. And if you're close to the edge here, if you want to play it safe, you can stay on the edges of this fight and you'll be safe. There is a slight chance that in ball form he might be knocked into you, just by like a pixel, but if he's on his feet, he's not going to hit you. Okay, and the fast way is to actually jump and hit. If you're on your feet, you're not going to be able to land as many hits as fast, but if you're in the air, your head returns to your body that much quicker. Especially if the swing, especially as the bosses are close, you want to be as close between them and in the air, and then just shoot up, down, as fast as you can between them. Let's see. Okay, so this is something that I couldn't show in the video, but he also has this attack where he's going to throw his cane at you. When you see him stop, just jump. And then that's it. You just keep on going. This fight is pretty tough, honestly. I can't even say I've optimized it. But it's fun, so have fun with it. Okay, and I think that's it for this. So that's pretty much it for that fight. There really isn't much to explain. You just keep in your air and constantly hit between them. Okay, now here, this is Wooden Dresser. She's fun, but you don't want to see her third form. You don't want to see the robot form. You want to kill her before then, and you should be able to, but it might be a little close. So let's see. First thing I should explain, so she's also pretty random. Not really her movements are random so much, just her weak points are rotated randomly, or selected randomly rather. And the way you can change that, you can actually change the which one it is by just any input, any movement before she gets her clothing on her first form. This is really only useful if you are practicing with save states. You can kind of you can cycle through the clothing by just moving around before she gets, just do a dance or something, or don't do anything. Anyway, first phase is this dragon form. Very simple. Just don't run it. Like, the fire will always be in this arc here. There's no reason for you to run into it. Just treat it like a wall, and just knock off the clothing that you can. But what you actually are targeting here is you're waiting for head case to get the star form, the star head out. Once you have star head, grab that, because that will make this part so much easier. You don't need it. You can do this without it. Do that if that's more challenging to you, but it will definitely be faster and more consistent almost all the time to just grab star head, because star head has all these stars moving in every single direction, well, 8 directions, and that will be bound to hit one of these. You will have to move around. They're not gonna target. They're not gonna home in. They move linearly. Just move around, and it should do it. Just shoot generally. Just keep on trying to undress her like normal. The star head should help you out a bunch here. And this fight will just keep on going like this, pretty much. But you should be able to get rid of all of the dragon skin by basically by the time she starts turning around here. She'll be walking left and right, so by the time she turns from the right to the left is when you should be able to undress her. And then what you do here is, once the heart is exposed, just stay underneath the heart and do nothing. Obviously, if you don't have star head, you want to shoot at it. And you notice I jump there and try to not really hit her, but sometimes your stars will not, they're moving not instantly. So if she's off screen, you might not have a star that gets close to her fast enough. So you can do that. It's not a guaranteed thing. It's just a thing you can do to get like one last hit in, maybe. Now actually, there is a chance that you can actually kill her with Starhead. Technically you don't need it, but you can kill her before she even jumps up. I will show off a video of that. It's called One Cycle. Well, there's so many one cycles, but it's called Wooden Dresser One Cycle. And I'll show you what it looks like, but it's definitely something that nobody has really pinned down. It's actually very precise and mostly random. It's a 15-second time save, about, I guess more like 18 seconds. It's pretty cool, but it's not really something that you should worry about. If you don't get it, you can still get a fantastic run. So second form here is going to be the ballerina form, and this is the last form you should see. Okay, please, can I know you want to see the robot form. You just hit it, okay, and avoid the dropping dolls. All right. Anyway, so there's two different weak points that you might get. The more likely one is you get the what is it, bodice? I don't know what you call that. The chest dress, the shirt part of the skirt. I don't know. You can get this, or you can get the wig and bonnet here, the wig and ribbon. And I'll show you how to get the wig and ribbon. There's a kind of a different way of doing this part of the fight. If you get that, you can actually get it off in a specific way. But here, so there will be a little bit of time. You can see I try to get this shot in. What you want to do is, right before she starts moving, you want to do a diagonal shot. And there's a chance, not a chance, you can actually just target it and get it. But it's kind of tricky to get this. And this is before she's dropping. Usually you're like, well, I can't attack her right now. I have to wait for something. But you can actually take that off before then. But usually, you know, maybe you won't be able to get it, or you missed. So again, we're going to wait on head case. So never get fathead, ever. Don't do it. It's never useful. No, it's not even for speedruns. Okay, so you're gonna wait for Superhead, of course, and then as soon as you get Superhead, by the time that Superhead appears, you want to start moving immediately, because then she'll start ducking down. Okay, and then as soon as she's level with the ground, you want to jump and then shoot. It's kind of hard to get that shot in too. You can try to get in close, but she's gonna start skirting around with her skirt on the ground. But you want to get a horizontal shot in to get that off, and then you want to aim and get the wig off. You saw that I hit it, but it didn't come off. You have to wait for the other one to come off screen, and then you can land the skirt off, and it will go like that. It's always shirt, wig, skirt. It's not going to be the other way around ever. And if you get the other way, it's wig, shirt, skirt. Skirt's always last. So then she'll jump up, and with Superhead, just start landing hits as she drops and bounces, and you should be able to always finish the fight before she jumps up again. If she jumps up, there is a possibility she'll come back down and still be vulnerable, but there's also a possibility her heart will turn purple and you cannot kill her. You don't want that to happen. So you want to defeat her at least, at the very least, this late. Okay? And that's this fight. This interesting thing, by the way, this is the longest end of the fight where nothing happens before the score clear shows up. That's not a glitch. It happens all the time. Okay. Okay. Text bubble here. So again, there's a text bubble. It's a boss, right? It's a keymaster. It's an important character. So when this guy rolling the carpet appears off screen, once he like finishes his work on screen, like once he leaves off screen, that's when you have the text window appear. So like right now, or a little bit after. Wow, okay. Anyway, that's where it is. Yep. Okay, now this is, I'm gonna try to do this. This, I definitely know I'm gonna, might have a few tries on this. Yeah. But what you're gonna want to do is you're gonna want to upshoot. And you want to upshoot basically exactly when she starts moving. And then you can get her wig off. That was actually pretty quick. It has to be an upshot. A diagonal shot's not going to do it. And you also have to jump to upshot. I haven't said this before, but if you want to get the most vertical range out of your shoots, it has to be after a jump. And not before a jump, because if you shoot before a jump, then it's going to be short. You have to shoot it at the top and as you're falling. You can also shoot, yes, when you're falling, and you'll still get that high shot. It's just how the combination of the body and head sprites work. That's how you get that wig off. You can do it like that. Now here, you can wait for Superhead, but you can also do this even faster. So what you do is you jump up, deboost through the skirt, and then upshoot the shirt off. Like that. And then you can take the skirt off. And like that, because it's so fast, you'll have plenty of time to finish the job. Let's see if I can do that one more time. Wow. This must be annoying to hear. It's not repeating like a section. So yeah. And that's how that fight goes. Hooray! Okay, one last thing. And let me get this set up real quick. Actually, I guess I could just do this. Right, okay. Yay, it's Twitch. Okay, so I have to bounce across the ground. I would have saved like 3 seconds. Oh, it's what an annoying guy. So yeah, just take a look here. This is the one cycle. This is what it looks like. Missing frames. Let me show that again. Yep. And that's what it looks like. That's how it goes. Again, it's not something you need to worry about. It's just something you should know. Basically, the rule for that, or not the rule, but the thing you want to do is you want to get rid of all the dragon skin before she reaches the edge, and specifically, it seems that on, like, she'll take 3 big steps, or 4 big steps across the screen from left to right. On the 3rd step, when she stops at the 3rd step, that's when you want to remove the last of the dragon skin, and you want to start having the star head give damage to her heart in the middle of her walk to the right before she comes back to the left. There's different slight variations off that. That's just a rule of thumb. You just basically want to undress her as quickly as possible and start throwing stars at her heart. That's how you do it. That's how you do it all in one go. I'm telling you, this is my advice. That is still not set in stone. If you could ever discover a consistent method, please share. I will try to do the same. It's just something that so far has not been thoroughly understood. Maybe the Tastas know, but they tend to be a secretive bunch. Or at least for Headdy. There's not many Headdy Tastas anyway. And so yeah, kind of a convoluted and kind of long-winded explanation for this part, but I covered pretty much everything for Scene 3. So good luck. Lots of fights in this one. You're going to want to practice quite a bit on all of them. Yeah, and every single stage pretty much. The hardest thing is probably going to be 3-2. You want to get that done first. 3-3 is also hard, but you will be able to work through it. You're going to have to, but it's not as necessary to do 3-2 as fast as I showed you, but you want to get that fast because it's going to help you. And also the 3-1 fight against the flying soldiers is pretty tough, so you definitely want to get a feel for that. Wooden Dresser is actually pretty dang easy. It should not be hard for you to just avoid robot phase entirely. You maybe even casually, you've never seen it. Good for you. Anyway, that's it. Bunch of bosses here. Next part, we're going to cover a little crazy town, a little crazy mechanical place, and maybe a nice little trick. So thanks for watching this part. Hope you learned something. Hope it's helped you. Hope you had a little fun. Sorry for the little messiness. Try to shape up next time. Anyway, good luck. See you next time.